Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Beanie, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've been kind of falling behind on my videos, and it's been harder and harder for me to get a video out every day, but I have the next 2 days completely off from everything. I'm not doing anything at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film and edit a bunch of videos that I can put in a backlog so that whenever I am busy and I have to do something, I can still upload a video that day easily and it not really, kill me. The video that I want to put out today is just one that I can do easily. I can edit up quickly and I can get out to you guys so I can focus the rest of the day on creating that backlog so you guys can have more content, because I haven't been putting out as much content as I would like, and I haven't been putting out as many gameplays as I like. So I'm also going to be recording a lot of gameplays, a lot of Road to the Show stuff, a lot of head-to-head season stuff, a lot of Battle Royale stuff. But anyways, guys, today we are going to be talking about which player epics are the best for you. And I know I've already done a video on this before that was kind of just like talking about the missions and stuff like that, but I really wanted to get like a little bit more in depth on the collections and the epics and which ones I think are the best. No, there are some that I'm not going to talk about that are a little bit better, but they're so expensive to complete that I don't think they're quite as good as these just from like a cost benefit analysis. You know what I mean? The ones that I'm about to show you are going to be the most cost effective ones. Okay, and the first collection I'm going to talk about is the Padres, and I've already done the Padres collection, but I have not done their epic. But for their epic reward, you get the 86 overall Tony Gwynn. And that card's not a very high overall, but he plays really similarly to his Tony Gwynn from last year. His defense isn't quite as good. I think his speed may even be a little bit better, but I don't think his power is up there. He's kind of like a poor man's Ichiro, and you can complete this Padres collection really, really cheap. I did mine for well under, I'd say about 3 to 5K. Somewhere in there, depending on how much some of the lower tiered cards are going for, but I'd say at worst it's going to cost you about 5K to complete this. And guys, here are the stats for that Tony Gwynn card. I just figured I'd go ahead and show you. See, amazing contact and vision, okay power versus righties, like 41. That's not as good as it was last year, but he's got that speed and he's got that defense. This is a card that you want to get, and he can be had for just a few stubs and a little bit of grinding. Okay guys, now we're going to start talking about more of the mid-tier collections. The collections that cost a little bit more but are really good from like a cost benefit analysis. You know what I mean? Like, the cards that you get are definitely worth the stubs that you put into it, and they don't cost like an insane amount, like 200K a piece to complete. And the first one I want to talk about is the Brewers collection. Now, for completing the Brewers collection, you get this 89 John Axford, who is a really, really solid reliever. He was close to making it in my top 10, but that lack of changeup, I couldn't put him in there. But then for the team epic, you get this 92 Jonathan Lucroy, and this card is legit, guys. He has great defense, great vision, great contact, and he's got enough power to be able to put the ball over the fence if you get a hold of one. This is, in my opinion, probably the second, maybe the third most valuable catcher in the game, depending on how you value that 97 Posey. Honestly, I like the Posada better than both of them, but I think this Lucroy card has a legitimate argument that he might be a more valuable card than that Posey, depending on how you value contact and power versus lefties versus righties and so forth. He's probably number 3, but still, to have the third best catcher in the game and to be able to get him for a modest 30K, because that's about what this is going for, and you're not only getting him, you're getting the John Axford card as well. So I think that the Brewers collection is definitely one of the best mid-tier collections to complete. Okay guys, and the next mid-tier collection that I'm going to talk about is the Royals. And this is one, along with the next one, that I don't see a lot of people talking about a lot. But this is a really, really good collection to complete. For the collection reward, you get the 89 Joakim Soria, or Joakim. I don't know how it's pronounced. I kind of made that note in my last video. I don't know if it's Joakim Soria or Joakim Soria. You know, I'm a redneck from Mississippi. I don't like all them fancy names, you know. But anyways, this Soria card is he was in my top 10 list, and I think for good reason. Even though his per nines aren't dominant, he's got probably the best pitch mix that you could possibly want. Plus he has that big slow curveball. Really like that card. I've talked about him before. And then for the Team Epic, you get this Lorenzo Cain card, who versus lefties, this guy might be one of the best cards in the game. And against righties, he's no slouch. He's got that 79 contact, the 50 power with 72 vision. That, you know, that's not great, but it's not bad. And it really plays up with that 90 speed and 83 stealing. And plus, you've got the benefit of having really, really good defense out there in the outfield. You've got 93 reaction and 93 speed. This guy or 93 fielding with the 90 speed. This guy is going to cover a ton of ground for you, and his arm isn't pathetic like, you know, like the Johnny Damon or the Flashback Ellsbury or something like that. So yeah, I think this is a great card, and the Royals collection can be had for about 23,000 stubs. Not bad at all. Okay, now I labeled this one mid-tier, but honestly it is a little bit more expensive than the other ones. This one is going to cost you around 60,000 stubs. If you put in buy orders, you can maybe get it for 50. So it's an expensive collection, but I think as far as a bang from your buck standpoint, this is probably the best one. And it's the Rangers. For the Rangers, well, for the collection, I believe for the collection, you get the 93 Buddy Bell. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. And this card is amazing, guys. I've plopped him in at shortstop, and he has been incredible for me at shortstop. But you could totally play him at third base, too, and he's still really, really good. And, yeah, I love this Buddy Bell card. I could see him being on my team for a good while. One of my favorite, and in my opinion, one of the more underrated cards in the game. And then for the Team Epic, you get the 97 Ian Kinsler. And this card is just an absolute stud. He's decent versus lefties with great vision, and he's just a beast versus righties. And he's got a little bit of speed. His defense isn't the best, but he's still really good. And for 60K, for you to get these two cards, I mean, honestly, for 60K, these two cards are probably, if they were on the market and they didn't have missions attached to them, they would honestly probably, the Kinsler would probably be worth about 100,000, and the Buddy Bell would probably be worth 60 or 70. I mean, these cards are amazing. Okay, and the next one is one that I really don't hear a lot of people talk about, and that's the Marlins collection in Team Epic. This one is not that expensive at all. You can finish this one for about 28K. And for that, for the collection, you'll get Ricky Nolasco. Now, Ricky Nolasco is not a great card. Like, this isn't a card that you're really doing this for. I don't know. I haven't used him, but he doesn't seem like he would throw hard enough. He does have an interesting pitch mix, and his per nines aren't terrible, but I'm not a huge fan of just the way that this card looks. But for the Team Epic, you get this 88 overall Hanley Ramirez, and I love this card. This card is honestly kind of like that Lorenzo Cain with worse defense, and he plays shortstop, but I almost like him better than the Lorenzo Cain because he has all that positional variety. You can play this guy at shortstop, first, third, or left field, and he's not going to kill you at any of those positions. Plus, he's got that 94 speed with 79 stealing. This guy is a game breaker on the base paths. And you can have him for about 28K. Him plus Nolasco plus Giancarlo and Christian Yelich. And I really like that Yelich card. Don't even get me started on him. But I think that that's definitely worth the stubs that it would take to get him. Okay, the next one is the Twins, and this one is just kind of, it's pretty cheap for a mid-tier, And you do get this Brian Dozier with it, who is, honestly, whenever he's playing up with inside edge, he can be kind of a beast for a second baseman. But your rewards for it, you know, you might, that Phil Hughes, you might be like, you know, Phil Hughes definitely isn't great. He's a control pitcher that doesn't throw crazy hard. Per nines aren't the best. You know, just not a great pitcher for the collection reward. But then you get this Glenn Perkins card, and, you know, I'm not a huge fan, like I've said before, of these guys that don't have changeups. But this guy, lefty relievers are kind of few and far between nowadays. And the fact that you can have this 91 Glenn Perkins for a little bit of grinding and a total cost of about $14K, you know, give or take a little bit, I think that that's totally worth it. And then the last one that we're going to talk about is the Rays. And, you know, the Rays, you have to get the Evan Longoria and the Chris Archer, but that Chris Archer card is no joke, y'all. That guy is a great 85 gold pitcher. Maybe the best 85 gold pitcher in the game. And Longoria, you know, he is what he is. But for the rewards, you get this 87 Matt Garza. And just like that Chris Archer, this 87 Matt Garza is nothing to sneeze at, dude. He's got great per nines, and his stuff is pretty good. He's got a decent pitch mix. And, you know, 68 velocity with 80 break, that's not bad. But then you get to the Team Epic reward, and it is this 93 Melvin Upton. And this card is so balanced. And man, I really love this card. As a Braves fan, as much as I hate Melvin Upton or BJ or whatever you want to call him, I really love this card. He's got mid-80s, well, low 80s power, high 60s contact. Your PCI isn't going to be the biggest using this card, but man, he's got some great, I mean, he's a great hitter. Whenever you get a hold of one, whenever you square a ball up, it's going to be out of here, or it's at least going to be a gapper. And with his speed, almost every gapper, if you're playing in the right kind of ballpark, is going to be a triple. With that 93 speed and 89 stealing, this guy is a terror on the base pass. Plus, he can play center field very effectively for you, and he has a strong-ass arm that's going to be able to get tons of defensive assists. And the crazy thing is that this card can be had for about 24,000 stubs. So guys, let's wrap up here a little bit. Let's talk about how many stubs you just spent and what exactly you got for it. In total, you spent about 184,000 stubs. Now that sounds like a lot, but let's talk about what we got in return. I've already went through the cards, but just in total, you got 5 diamond cards and 19 gold cards if you include the cards that you bought in like the live series cards and all that. And a lot of those golds are really effective golds. They're the golds like Kelvin Herrera. They're golds like the Joakim Soria or Brian Dozier. They're guys that are going to find, or Christian Yelich. They're guys that are going to find utility on your team whenever you're starting out. So 184,000 stubs sounds like a lot, but from what you're getting back for it, you can put together a team that's going to be up there in the upper echelons of the, you know, the best teams in the game. Like, you're going to be putting together just an absolute beast of a team. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this game, for this, you know, video. I don't know if this is going to be a tutorial or what. Anyways, guys, I'm about to get back to creating this backlog so I can get more consistent content out there to you guys. I apologize for that. I know a lot of you guys enjoy these videos, and I want to get as much out to you as possible, but sometimes it's just tough, man. That's why I'm taking these next 2 days. I'm going to make this backlog so I can be consistent and get you guys something out there that you can really enjoy. Anyways, guys, I will talk to y'all later. Peace!